Chief guest Professor Yadav, guest of honor Professor Pandit, and my dear friend 𝗵𝘃𝗃𝗁, and Rajan Uttarkar, author of the book, and my friend and also my classmate, 1981 batch of UDCD, Professor Gogri, Professor Sharma, Professor Joshi, and dear friends. Rajan and I studied together in UDCD and past. Our batch was 1981, and we see a lot of our 1981 batchmates. And I think all of us went into our own different line. You know, I was in manufacturing, he was more on consulting and design. But last 10 years, I think once you cross 50, your normal life, you know, everybody, their sons and all get settled. And so last 10 years, you know, Rajan and me and also a lot of our classmates, you know, have been meeting quite often and traveled within India and also outside India. And in a way, I think that's when also inspiration came to him that, you know, after a long career, you know, what he can give back, whatever he is learning. That is very unique, you know, to write a book on safety is something, you know, is very unique. You know, 4 years back, he came and he gave me a few chapters, first draft, you know, which I passed on to our safety guys to read, you know, whether this can be useful or so. And then in between, as he mentioned, he had really a serious health issue. And I thought, you know, maybe now, you know, he might have lost that zeal to, you know, write this book. And after that, I again met, you know, then really very strong commitment and passion which he had, you know. And on that basis, you know, he came up, again went into writing. I think a lot of, he also mentioned that a lot of writing and rewriting and everything. And then he came up with the final version of the book. The chemical sector, basically, you know, what I see is the demand-wise the best sector in India. Because it has all the three growth drivers. If the Indian per capita income is going to increase, so our per capita consumption of chemical is going to increase, which has happened all over the world. We have almost $50 million imports and almost around $50 billion exports. So we have a huge import substitution opportunity, and we also use export opportunity. And we have proven ourselves in the international market for export. So there is no other industry, I think, which has all the three. You know, domestic growth will always be there, but the import substitution and export both will be very, I don't think any other industry is there. Again, you know, everybody talks China plus one. So for the chemical industry, India is the only one. There is no Vietnam and there is no Bangladesh or any other countries which is going to be, you know, in chemical sector. Even though currently we have a challenging period because there is a lot of competition from China. But mid to long term prospects, chemical industry has a very good prospects, especially even today or in next 10 years also, world needs more chemical from India. But chemical again is another unique factor is the safety. Safety is something which we, criticality is not there in any other industry, which the chemical industry is there, you know. And when our company, when we did this safety matrix of various stakeholders, then safety is something which is good for, essential for all the stakeholders. Whether it's employees, customers, bankers, suppliers and all that, no. If you really, you know, want to grow, the safety is a one factor which becomes very critical. And I'll also like to brief, you know, a little bit about our journey up at Aarti Industries, which, you know, a lot of Indian companies will have the similar kind of journey. We started in 1975, our group, and the company Aarti Industry was 84. Started, and I joined in 83, the group. It was started as a small scale company, and over the years we had a public issue, and currently we are a multi-location with 7,000 crore plus assets, 7,000 crore plus turnover, and 6,000 plus people. So we have seen all the growth phase, from a small company to various small scale company and medium and large. So what we have realized, that one of the most important, it says, earn or burn the profits, safety is the cornerstone for any chemical company to succeed in a very long term. And in that, one of the important things what we learned is that safety culture, and it starts at the top. And again, top management has to do walk the talk. Everybody says, I want safety. But when it really matters, whether the manufacturing team is supporting the safety, that becomes important. In cover companies, sometimes people ask them, here we don't have a concept of safety budget. Because if you are putting any plant or any process, whatever is the inherent safety requirement, it has to be done. And by doing that, if you are not viable, you don't do that product. Maybe either your technology is not proper or your competitor is compromising on safety. There can be the two reasons why it is not viable. So we don't make that product. But whatever your knowledge of safety is there, if you are not able to make that product, you don't do that. So we call it like, now we are in business of safety, we also make chemicals. So this is the kind of culture, continuous culture drive within the organization becomes very important. Couple of years back, one $30-40 billion sales global multinationals top person, and we was visiting our factory and we are just discussing. Actually, if you see post-COVID, we had lost so many accidents in India. That Hyderabad accident and so many accidents were happening, and that's what he was saying, that world needs chemical from India, and this lot of accidents are happening, what is missing. So that's what I told, that most of the chemical industry, whether it's a medium, large, everybody, all the top management, all the owners, entrepreneurs want safety to be done. But they right now don't have the processes and the systems how to really implement the safety. So I think that is where I think this book, what Rajan has written, that becomes a very critical, I would say, for the entire industry. In safety field, there are a lot of multinationals have various systems they have put in place, and which generally will be understood by safety professionals and all. It will not be difficult, to on entrepreneur side. In India, we have, various small and medium and a lot of people who are homegrown large, company like us. We are very small, and then we have gone large. And there are a lot of big Indian companies as well as multinational companies. So this entrepreneur at a top management to really understand the safety becomes very critical, and then design and team and operation and maintenance team. That's where the concept what Rajan brought into this book, SEPLO, Safe and Efficient Plant Operations. If you go through the book, very nicely and very this safety is you feel very complex subject, but it has been deconstructed into something which can be understood by one at the entrepreneurial level, or by the people who are in the design, or who are people who are in the maintenance. First important point is start with operation intents by the top management. So everything safety starts from the top. Top management has to be very clear what has to be done, and he has to provide the assets, people, and the culture for that. Then, 𝗵𝘃𝗍 system for design. So next thing is, how are you going to design? And I earlier also like one next was the design decoding study. How do you really design? Design people are designing the plant. Then how do you decode when you want to run the plant? So that is another concept where a lot of gaps happen. Whether the way plant is designed and the way it has to be operated, that transition has to happen properly. And then business hazard and asset reliability. That is where the mix of, your technology, your people and culture, all that mix, and what kind of business hazards are happening. And fifth and sixth point was the operation, plan and execution. How do you really plan and execute? And last one, innovation and concept. Ultimately, you have to be a learning organization. So you continuously learn from that, you innovate, and then you complete the circle. So it is very, what I said, India has a huge opportunity, and basically we need two things, efficiency and safety, for it to be really succeed. And this book is really a right book for, all medium, large and all. And I am placing 100 book order. So that is a walk the talk, that I like the book, so that I will give to at least my customers. And it will really, because a lot of people ask us, how we want safety, but how do you do it? So this book, will really help the entire industry. And as Professor Pandit suggested, maybe this become a saplo and become, good word in future. So all the best, Rajan.